The NBA is a billion-dollar industry, but somehow is being run by two small businesses. Well, small compared to the NBA. Let me tell you about the two companies that are controlling the league. We start with one of the most powerful men in the NBA. No, not LeBron, or even Adam Silver. This is a guy LeBron became friends with at an airport. He went from selling jerseys from the back of his truck to being worth $100 million. His name is Rich Paul, founder and owner of the Klutch Sports Group. Fast forward 10 years, Klutch is the most powerful agency in the league, representing clients like Bron, AD, Zach LaVine, Draymond, and Ben Simmons, which makes Rich Paul arguably the most influential man in the league. Just take a look at LA. In 2019, the Lakers traded for AD, and sure, you could praise the Lakers for getting the deal done, but that trade doesn't happen without Rich Paul. In 2022, the Lakers signed Juan Toscano Anderson, Lonnie Walker IV, and Troy Brown Jr. in free agency. All three are represented by Klutch, not to mention Kendrick Nunn. And this doesn't include all the Klutch players who've come to the Lake Show since 2019. It's got so bad that in May 2022, Lakers owner Jeannie Buss had to tell everyone that Klutch Sports is not running the team. She is. But Rich Paul's Klutch Sports is just one company that controls the future of NBA franchises. 10 years before Rich Paul created Klutch, he worked for another agency, an agency that actually represented LeBron before Klutch. And this agency runs the biggest franchise in the NBA, under everybody's noses. But first, let's rewind. Remember this?
LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
5 years before this iconic moment, LeBron signed with Creative Arts Agency in 2005, also known as CAA, the agency that has represented the league's biggest stars. When LeBron made the decision, everybody gave Miami all the credit for changing basketball. But did you know that James, Wade, and Bosh were all CAA clients at the time? And there was one agent from the CAA who secretly pulled all the strings to make that super team? His name? Leon Rose, the man who's been controlling the Knicks. Years before he became the team president, Rose and CAA consultant William Wesley convinced James Dolan to bring in loads of CAA talent, something he continues to preach to this day. Not just players either. Head coach Tom Thibodeau is repped by CAA. Assistant coaches, an assistant GM, and a player personnel director from the CAA all joined the Knicks this decade. So the Knicks hiring Rose was just a formality of what's been bubbling under the surface for years. Which brings us back to 2022, when the Knicks threw $104 million at Jalen Brunson after hiring his dad, Rick Brunson, to be an assistant coach. But here's the catch. Jalen Brunson is also repped by the CAA. His agent is the son of Leon Rose himself, and Jalen's dad was Leon Rose's first ever client back in the 90s. So Brunson getting the bag means everyone gets the bag. The Knicks' pursuit of Donovan Mitchell is well documented, and you can already guess which agency represents Spida, but the casual fan doesn't hear about any of this. The constant chess match that happens, not between GMs and teams, but between powerful player agencies. And these agencies are ruthless. Just look at what Rich Paul did in 2020, when he stepped down as president of Klutch Sports. He chose an agent from Octagon Sports to replace him, who was representing Trae Young and Anthony Edwards, who then both signed with Klutch. And in one fell swoop, Paul strengthened his own Klutch empire while weakening rival Octagon. So now that you know all this, the next time you hear trade rumors, remember it's not just the players and teams who are making the decisions, because I guarantee you the most powerful men controlling the NBA strings aren't even in the league.